Don't burn books. Read them. Books I return to again and again. A partial list. A Wrinkle in Time. A favorite from my childhood. I met Madeline Winkle, probably mispronouncing her last name. I met the author of A Wrinkle in Time at Schreiner College in Kerrville, Texas in 1997. I handed her a hardcover edition of the book after listening to her speak in the auditorium. I got her autograph. I just said, "It's an honor to meet you." My hands were shaking. I had tears in my eyes. Wuthering Heights, Emily Bronte, my all-time favorite love story. Heathcliff, Catherine. The passion. It's so deep. It's so scorpionic. Franny and Zooey, J.D. Salinger. I'll tell you one thing, Franny. One thing I know, and don't get upset. It isn't anything bad. But if it's the religious life you want, you ought to know right now that you're missing out on every single goddamn religious action that's going on around this house. You don't even have sense enough to drink when somebody brings you a cup of consecrated chicken soup, which is the only kind of chicken soup Bessie ever brings to anybody around this madhouse. So just tell me, buddy, even if you went out and searched the whole world for a master, some guru, some holy man, to tell you how to say your Jesus prayer properly, what good would it do you? How in hell are you going to recognize a legitimate holy man when you see one if you don't even know a cup of consecrated chicken soup when it's right in front of your nose? Can you tell me that? Tender Buttons, Gertrude Stein. This book was published in 1997. Well, the original publication was 1914, and we still haven't caught up to Tender Buttons. Gertrude Stein was an Aquarian from Oakland, inexplicably. Orange. Why is a field oyster an egg stir? Why is it orange center? A show at tick and loosen it, so to speak, sat. It was an extra leaker with a C spoon. It was an extra liquor with a C spoon. So there's no sense. There's no rhyme. There's no reason. I fucking love it. I don't know what Gertrude Stein was thinking when she wrote these words. I don't know what her objective was, but I see it as a break from logic and rhyme and reason, just getting caught up in the sounds. I've been contributing to the small press, the indie press in the United States since 2005. I put out chapbooks. I've had my poetry collections published by various small press publishers. I've edited some collections. I had a zine called Instant Pussy for a few years. And my chief complaint with a lot of what I've seen is people trying too hard to get their point across, being didactic, just writing pages from their diary, basically, and trying to say that's poetry. Here's what happened today. And a lot of that is being influenced, I think, by Bukowski, because Bukowski, in most of his poems, he was very matter of fact. This is what happened. This is how I feel about what happened. A whore sucked my dick. She stole my wallet, went to the racetrack, got drunk. And so a lot of people, and I guess you can take the small press out of it, just writers in general, they feel like if they're writing about their life that people are going to care about that. Or a lot of memoirs written by people who overcame something, like they overcame an addiction to heroin or alcohol, and they think that's interesting and people want to know about it. Holly Madison, I was Hugh Hefner's favorite girlfriend. Here is what it was like to be Hugh Hefner's favorite girlfriend in the Playboy Mansion, and I was so exploited, but I can't stop talking about it on YouTube. Anyway, a lot of that, it's not interesting. It all just kind of bleeds into each other. The words all just bleed into a mess that I don't really care about. There's no emotional investment. There's no big payoff. With Tender Buttons, there's a break. There's a break from caring, from being emotionally invested, from being pulled into someone's scheme or someone's agenda or someone's diary. It's euphonious. Okay. Dennis Johnson, The Stars at Noon. When I first read this book a few years ago, I was reading this passage and I said, oh my fucking God, that's from Daydream Nation. So Sonic Youth was obviously inspired by this book. Let's see if I can find an example. Let's see. I haven't read this in so long. I can't tell where it is. I don't remember. But it is a book that I've returned to a few times, and I'll read it again, and I'll read it again. Damn it. Should use the little sticky notes. Okay. Life. You're crazy. Go to Panama. I don't really want cocaine. Then why do you ask? Why do you drink when you're not thirsty? I shrugged again. I felt stupid. It had only been a notion. Watch out for the woman who drinks when she's not thirsty. Yes, I said. I'll watch out. No, it's a saying of the mosquitoes. It tells me to watch out, not you. All right then, God damn it, I burst out in English. Keep your fucking eye on me then, okay? He paused, shocked. I know very little English, he said, but I know goddamn and I know fuck. Fuck is the property of the whole world. The Urinals of Hell, Joe Pachinko. I've made so many videos. I've talked at length, ad nauseum, about the impact, the effect that Joe Pachinko had on me. I first read this poetry collection in either 2005 or 2006. Might have been 2006. After I read it, I sent a starry-eyed, schoolgirl crushing email to Mr. Pachinko, and he replied, and then I met him at the 540 Club in San Francisco, April 2006. We were both reading our poetry at this club, this bar in San Francisco, and I fell in love. I fell in love when I read the book, and I fell in love when I met Joe in person. He was the muse who inspired my novel Bullshit Rodeo. I have this dog-eared. Must be important. Rape donuts. Gone are the glorious gobble fucks of yesteryear. Gone the super sleazy slut leaps of joy. No more wheezing for nubs. Sorry. No more wheezing for nibs. Even the pleasures of lounging in the slime shadow darkness of the antique porno palace have turned sordid, gone Walt Disney obvious. There's only so much time you can spend watching a bad blowjob or some subnormal mustachioed palooka eating pussy without finesse, even. Without finesse, finesseless. And why the close-up of the woman's half-wiped asshole with the inflamed hemorrhoid grape clusters? Why the old slobbering drunk eating the green smashed banana out of the other girl's ass? We might as well all be fucking glazed donuts, and that thundering herd in the streets outside, mooing and squawking. What are they thinking? Who knows what they're thinking? And who gives a flying fuck at a rolling donut? What they're thinking. But I'll tell you, boy, some of them donuts are starting to look mighty good. Yeah, some of them donuts look good. I'd be lucky now if I got one of those dry, old-fashioned donuts to fuck as I wait here in the dingy elevators of survival for a new Venus of cooperation to put me on a diet of organic, whole-grain smut. And then Love is a Dog from Hell by Charles Bukowski. I read this book, any of Bukowski's poetry really, but this is my favorite collection of his. I read this collection and I feel like I have a fucking friend in this bleak dystopia. 21st century United States of America. San Antonio, Texas. Sometimes I wonder if I'm alive at all. I feel very much like Kilgore Trout. I feel anonymous, I feel invisible, but I keep sitting at the spinning wheel trying to spin straw into gold. Trapped, page 35. Trapped by Charles Bukowski. Don't undress my love, you might find a mannequin. Don't undress the mannequin, you might find my love. She's long ago forgotten me. She's trying on a new hat and looks more the coquette than ever. She is a child and a mannequin in death. I can't hate that. She didn't do anything unusual. I only wanted her to. End transmission. Clearly, I am a subliterate idiot from the North Texas sticks. I've always known this. After uploading the audio, I thought I probably mispronounced the title of J.D. Salinger's book, the novella that I've been returning to again and again for years. Yeah, I listen to some people that are smarter than I am at YouTube, and it's Franny and Zoe, not Franny and Zooey. Oops.